Welcome, everyone, to the morning stream here on the Den of Nerds Live. On today's show, we're talking about the reports that Sam Raimi is going to direct Doctor Strange 2 in the Multiverse of Madness. Man, talk about a best-case scenario. We have got to geek out about this. Poor Scott Derrickson. We're also going to talk about another Illuminati scoop, this one about Kraven the Hunter coming to the MCU much sooner than we expected. That is amazing, but I think the bigger story might actually be, who the heck are these guys at Illuminati? Like, seriously, where did they come from? We will be going over all of that. I've got a hot take, and I want to tell you how excited I am to go see the Birds of Prey movie tonight. Let's get into the stream. Hey-oh! What's up, Den of Nerds? How we all doing? Good morning to you, and what a morning it is. What a morning it is. I hope you guys are having a good day, man. I love waking up and hanging out with you guys here on the morning stream here on the Den of Nerds Live. Good morning. I see you guys in here. I see Jason. I see Drew. I see Rahal. I see Ken Cologne, the meme master. Ken Cologne. By the way, Ken Cologne, first bro to hand me the information about Sam Raimi taking over. And oh boy, are we going to get into that. That's going to be very exciting. I see Second Stream Marvel in here. I see Mika. It's going to be a good day. I'm telling you guys, it's going to be very exciting. Very, very exciting. Maverick Pilgrim's in the building as well. We've got a lot to go over today, folks. As you saw in the intro, we're definitely going over that Doctor Strange 2 news. That is going to be wild. There's also that scoop. Kraven the Hunter scoop. Kraven the Hunter scoop just slid right in. Slid right in yesterday. Nobody was really paying attention. It slid right in. Pretty crazy stuff. Want to talk about that. I also have to tell you guys that there is a big video coming out later today on the Den of Nerds, on the regular channel. Big video. I got to tell you guys something, okay? Look, I had a conversation with Jason Warren yesterday about Star Wars, and man, oh man, do I have a juicy story that I want to do. I was originally going to do this story on the live show, and I thought to myself, you know, better not. Better actually do it in a regular video because I don't want to slip up. I don't want to slip up and say the wrong thing, and so I'm going to do it as a pre-recorded video. But it has to do with the Obi-Wan show / the Obi-Wan movie / the Obi-Wan show / movie. What's going on in 2022 and what is going on with Disney. A lot of interesting stuff. Look, there's a lot of Star Wars news bubbling up that, like, can't quite get into it yet. Can't quite talk about it yet, but dang, bro, there's some stuff going on when it comes to Star Wars. Also, want to tell you guys, yes, indeed, I am going to see the 90% on Rotten Tomato Birds of Prey movie tonight. Man, am I excited. And I'll say this, you know, bullying, it sucks, but it also works. Remember they bullied Sonic into not looking like complete ass? Well, they bullied me into seeing Birds of Prey. They bullied me into seeing Birds of Prey. You know, made that video. Tara and I talked about it. Tara and I pretty much on the same page about how that movie looks. I thought that video was pretty fair. A lot of hate. A lot of hate. People coming in and be like, you're hating. You're hating. And it forced us to take a look in the mirror and say, hey, man, are we hating? Let's go give this movie a fair shake. So tonight, going to see Birds of Prey. Man, am I excited for this film? Actually, we were talking about it a little bit last night. Here's what I'll say. I have this weird feeling that I'm actually going to like the movie. And if I do, I was about to tweet that Josh encourages bullying. Yeah, they might. They might. As far as the Birds of Prey, I have this weird feeling that I might like it, guys. What am I going to do? What am I going to do if I come out of that film and I like it? Well, I'm going to have to be honest about it and talk about how I like it. I'm sure I won't absolutely love everything, but I got this weird feeling, man, that I'm actually really going to enjoy the movie. Which is probably like, I mean, look, it's getting glorious reviews, right? Glorious reviews. So we shall see. That will probably be the main topic of the stream tomorrow morning, will be me breaking down what I think of Birds of Prey. You know what I mean? So that will be very exciting. Yeah, that'll be really cool. So we'll just see, man. We'll just see, okay? But of course, guys, you know what time it is. You know what we've got to do. You know what it's about. Let's do it. It's the craziest news of the day. Oh, this news is crazy. What just happened to my craziest news of the day logo? What is going on here? Something is clearly not right. I'm firing somebody. Anyway, look, of course, the craziest news of the day, guys. No surprise at all. It has to do with Sam Raimi. In talks, but it's pretty much confirmed at this point that Homeboy is going to be directing Doctor Strange 2 Into the Multiverse of Madness. Now, this is crazy. Of course, an exclusive coming from Variety. Literally says that he's going to have to get up to speed. I'll read right from it here. It says, Sam Raimi, who helped launch the modern superhero movie with 2002 Spider-Man, is in talks to direct Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness from Marvel Studios. Variety has learned. Kudos to Variety. They got the exclusive. Sam Raimi replaces original director Scott Derrickson, who Variety reported on January 9th had officially departed the project due to creative differences. Derrickson will remain as executive producer. Raimi, meanwhile, will need to get up to speed before the film's scheduled production start date in May. Marvel had no comment, which is basically like, yeah, that's happening, okay? So they go on here to talk about Sam Raimi doing the Spider-Man trilogy, blah, 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 yada, 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 talking about his history with the Evil Dead. And we will be getting into all of that as well because it's very important to note his history as a director and how important and clutch this is for the studio, okay? But before we get into breaking all of that down, I got a little something that I would like to say. I got a little something I would like to tell you guys. Okay. First up. New to this bit. My lawyers have asked me to read this. The following segment is meant to be parody and does not necessarily represent the views of the Den of Nerds LLC. Please direct all general displeasure and proverbial butthurt to our email or our social media. Now that we have that out of the way, let's get into this. And to be honest with you, the only person that's really going to get butthurt about this is Scott Derrickson. So if Scott Derrickson sees this and gets all butthurt, look, I'm sorry, man. Honestly, that's a terrible look for you. What do you want me to say? But the truth is, I got a hot take about Mr. Feige. Folks, Kevin Feige is low-key gangster in a way that nobody truly appreciates. Nobody truly appreciates how low-key gangster this man is. Of course, I love the MCU. Of course, I love what Marvel has done with not only their comic books, but just creating this shared universe. It's amazing. And I like Feige for that. But I don't stand Feige for that. I don't love Feige for that. I don't worship at the altar of Feige for that. But let me tell you what I do stand, Mr. Kevin Feige. When Kevin Feige was asked about Martin Scorsese's comments about movies, he said this: everybody is entitled to their opinion. Everyone is entitled to repeat that opinion. Everyone is entitled to write op-eds about that opinion. And I look forward to what will happen next. But in the meantime, we're going to keep making movies. You see, that is fucking gangster. The response is perfect. He's putting him in his place. He's being respectful about it, but that is a shot across the bow. As Marty keep doing Marty, we're going to continue making movies and killing it. That's gangster shit. Also, when he found out that Warner Brothers was creating Batman v Superman, he streamlined Civil War and beat DC to the hero fighting movie thing, and he made a better one than Batman v Superman. That is fucking gangster. When DC announced that they were making New Gods, a famous Jack Kirby comic book, Marvel Studios and Kevin Feige announces The Eternals, another Jack Kirby property, and they're probably going to beat, well, not probably, they are going to beat DC to doing the New Gods, and it's probably going to be a better film. That is fucking gangster. And this is not the first time that Kevin Feige has replaced a very good popular director that fans were very sad to lose with someone who kind of upscales the choice. I don't know if you remember this, but Ava DuVernay was actually going to direct Black Panther. Ava DuVernay was going to be the person that brought back Black Panther to the screen. She had creative differences with Marvel and Mr. Feige, and he replaced her with Ryan Coogler. That is fucking gangster. And when it comes to this new situation with Scott Derrickson, this was truly a bad look for Feige and for the MCU. For the first time in a long time, there was bad public relations coming out for Marvel Studios. The fact is, there was this narrative that they didn't want horror. Feige didn't want a horror movie, didn't want the scares in the film, right? And when Scott Derrickson left, that was a big thing out there. People were saying, well, this movie's not going to be horror. This is a totally different vision than what Scott had. I'm out. A lot of people really like Scott Derrickson. And Kevin Feige just replaced him with an absolute legend. Not only a man who has done some of the most iconic horror work in the history of Hollywood that'll put the kibosh on all of this nonsense talk about how Kevin Feige doesn't want a horror movie or scary elements in this film, but he's also going to bring in the guy that pretty much launched the modern day superhero films. With the 2002 Spider-Man film, Spider-Man 2 and Spider-Man 3, which we don't talk about, but whatever, it's still, it's cool. This guy, Sam Raimi, is literally a legend that people look. I'll tell you right now. This isn't a part of the hot take, but it's important to note. Yesterday, Ken Colon expressed that he had forgotten that Sam Raimi was the horror guy. Most of the young people, the millennials, they actually just remember him as the Spider-Man guy, which, by the way, is freaking perfect. That's freaking perfect. This is a subliminal threat by Mr. Kevin Feige. This is something that all of the other young directors, all of the other creative people that want to get their vision out. You know what I mean? They might have creative differences with Mr. Feige. This is like Kevin Feige saying to them, if you step out of line, I will replace you with a fucking legend and no one will remember your name. And that, my friends, is fucking gangster. Gangster as you can get. And it's something that not enough people give Kevin Feige credit for because it is truly gangster AF. And that's been my hot take. That's been my hot take when it comes to the news about Mr. Kevin Feige doing the Sam Raimi thing. But I'd like to tell you guys, I'd like to talk to you guys a little bit about why this is so important. I just want to get into this with you guys. It's absolutely ridiculous. What do you think about this? You let me know in the chat, guys. But in all seriousness, this is a ridiculous get. This is literally going to, there's nobody on the planet that probably feels worse than Scott Derrickson. And look, I'm not trying to crap on Scott Derrickson. But the truth is, man, he had these tweets and he was tweeting about this stuff and, and then ultimately it broke. And it was a bad look. It legitimately caused, for the first time in a long time, a possible bad story thread out there about how Feige is doing things. And people were really concerned about Doctor Strange, too. And there's so many reports out there about casts and things that are happening. Guys, Sam Raimi is one of the most legit directors to ever come in and do a Marvel movie. Literally. He hangs out literally at the top of the heap when it comes to directors. This guy has a lot of acclaim. He's an incredible director. So for Feige to get this guy, man, honestly, if I was Scott Derrickson, I would go away. I would go hide in a cave for a while. I would rethink my life choices. I would definitely reconsidering calling Ryan Johnson to get advice about this kind of shit, which, by the way, I actually heard a story about Ryan Johnson, and I'm like, he's actually a really nice dude, apparently. Really, really nice. So, it is what it is. But this is some gangster shit, bro. This is some gangster shit. Seriously, I got the Doctor Strange shirt on. I wasn't worried for a second. You guys know me. We stand. When it comes to Feige, we stand, baby. We stand because the man just does it every time. It's amazing possibilities, amazing things. I can't even speak properly, but you guys know what I'm talking about. I mean, this is like it solves every problem. You know what I mean? And the thing that I really love about Raimi is that he's great. He's really great at depicting vision and doing all those things. But some of the things I like about him the most, did you guys ever hear the comments that he made years later about the third Spider-Man film and the things that he talked about? Like really serious lessons learned. You know what I mean? Like some serious lessons learned. And he's not going to make those same mistakes in this film, even though it's a big movie. He's going to bring so much to the project, guys. Like a lot to the project. It's pretty freaking crazy. Let's see here. I'll read in some of the chat here. That's power you can't buy. Falcon and Batman Begins. Kevin wants to appropriate the amount of horror and humor in this movie. Derrickson couldn't deliver. Raimi will. He absolutely will. Y'all act like Derrickson still not getting paid millions to be executive producer. This man is getting millions from Doctor Strange, too. I mean, I'm sure that he's getting paid. I don't know if he's getting paid millions. I got to be honest. I don't know that. But yeah, he's getting paid. But I guarantee you he feels bad. And if I was him, I wouldn't even want to show up to, like, the red carpet and stuff. Do you know what I mean? Like, how are the questions? Like, what you risk getting a question like, hey, man, how does it feel to Sam Raimi to come in and all the hype in the world to surround him, and nobody gives a crap about you? You know what I mean? That's basically what he runs the risk of doing now. So I think Scott Derrickson is probably feeling pretty lousy. Pretty dang lousy at this point. Got to be honest. Hey, yeah. He's going to get paid. He's going to get paid. Bruce Campbell could certainly come over and be a part of that. It's just, I mean, like, honestly, when I heard this story, I was like, this is crazy. And then as I sat and thought about the implications, I was like, man, this is crazy, dude. Like, talk about not skipping a beat. Any director they were going to, remember, guys, the talk of the town after Derrickson left was, okay, well, Feige will probably get a yes man or a type of director. Younger director, somebody that's just a body, get in there, get the shots, and then the movie will be made. Essentially, they did the opposite of that. They got not only a true visionary, an absolute legend in the space, like it's like going from like a shaky ground, kind of like, oh my goodness, what are we going to do? This is a really important movie, obviously, for Marvel. There's turmoil behind the scenes. Now we're going to get Sam Raimi, guys. Like, we're going to get Sam Raimi. Out of control. Out of control. But you know what else, guys? I want to talk about this report from the Illuminati. This is pretty wild. Guys, how much you've been watching the show. You've been watching the videos. How many times have I said the word Illuminati in the past couple of weeks? It's ridiculous. Whoever these guys are, they have incredible access. And they're really good at taking the information and putting it out in a way that builds hype. Like, for sure. Like, they really, really do. So they got their finger on the pulse. I can't help but think that Kevin Feige might be running the Illuminati as well, which is borderline a joke. Also, quite possibly, actually, what's going on. You know what I'm saying? So, I want to read from this here on Illuminati. And then I want to speculate about this, too, because this is really cool, guys. And it flew under the radar of the Sam Raimi news, which, of course, it did. Because a lot of things are going to fly under the radar of the Sam Raimi news, okay? Now, I'm going to read right here from the Illuminati. Kraven the Hunter's character breakdown signals a close connection to Spider-Man and a potential avenue into the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Kraven has always been one of the most distinct and memorable Spider-Man villains. He had his own film in development for decades, although there has been little movement about it until recently. With Spider-Man preparing to return to the Marvel Cinematic Universe, could the Deadly Hunter be heading there too? So, Illuminati has seen the casting grid for the potential Kraven the Hunter solo film, and it could have a direct impact within the MCU. It seems like Kraven will be very similar to the version from the core Marvel Comics universe. He's specifically referred to as a maniacal big game hunter in it, much like his comic book counterpart. But unlike Venom and Morbius, which largely tried not to refer to Spider-Man directly, Kraven is also specifically mentioned to be hunting Spider-Man. This puts him square center in the middle of the MCU, making their antagonism a core part of the character and begging for a confrontation. The casting recommendations leave a lot of details open, but one specific casting desire is for a Bourne-esque figure who is in their late 30s or 40s. Considering how Spider-Man Far From Home ended, Spider-Man could easily end up being on the run throughout the film. This would allow the villain to try and track him down on the largest scale possible, with the entire world watching and believing he's killed Mysterio. Kraven, being a bounty hunter, even suggests that the other similar villains could be after Spider-Man as well. So, this is super interesting. This is literally some Sony business as far as his hunt. But you see, what they're saying here in the article is the fact that, unlike the casting calls for the Morbius and for Venom, which had no mention of Spider-Man in their casting grid, now Sony is literally putting at the forefront that this Kraven the Hunter will be fighting against, or hunting rather, Spider-Mans. He's going to be hunting the Spider-Mans, guys. Now, that's a big deal. We've seen, obviously, that Spider-Man is in the trailer for Morbius. Sony's got plans, man. Sony's got plans. And right now, we're all mostly doing a thing where we're kind of playing wait and see. Wait and see. What do they have going on over there? What are they going to be doing with the Spider-Man character? We don't know. But they have plans. The casting grid for Kraven the Hunter suggests that they are going to be bringing Spider-Man in. Now, I also know, I have it on good authority, that Kevin Feige really, really wants to tell a story with Kraven the Hunter. Kraven the Hunter is a character that Feige has wanted for a long, long time. And so, what if we see more connective tissue between Kraven the Hunter that's possibly established in the MCU, that then gets taken over into the Sony Marvel universe? That would be really cool. And if they don't do that, Sony will still establish Kraven and probably take the threads of the Tom Holland Spider-Man and have Kraven hunting him, perhaps even establishing the Sinister Six as hunting him as well. But as I told you guys at the top, what's really interesting about this is like Illuminati, man. Like, seriously, whoever these guys are, they are on it right now. The hustle is real. I absolutely love it. You got to give respect. That where respect is due, you give it, man. And the Illuminati has been killing it with these reports. So what do you guys think? I want to know what you think about Kraven the Hunter possibly fighting Spider-Man in the Sony Marvel universe. I love it. They've been on fire, Alex says. Yeah, absolutely they have. And he set up for live-action Spider-Verse with the inclusion of Raimi, Ben Edwards says. I'll get into that in just a second. We'll get into Q&A as well. Grace Randolph is a little too political these days on her recent previews. Oh, that's interesting. That's interesting. I know I see some stuff, people talking about the Spider-Man, the possibility of the Spider-Verse stuff. Yeah, that would be cool. That would be cool for sure. June says, Marvel introducing all these characters for Sony to snatch back when it's done. They're getting Mysterio, Vulture, and now Kraven, all made by Feige for them. Yeah, but here's the thing. Here's the thing about that, June. We don't know, and the Illuminati report is not telling us whether or not Kraven will be established in the MCU. Actually, the casting grid is coming from Sony. So this would appear to be for a Kraven solo movie that Sony is developing, and Sony is going to go after this character. So, you know, it doesn't have as much to do with Marvel as you would think. Marvel is co-producing the next Sony Spider-Man movie, but I don't think that's the same thing that's going on with Kraven here. So it's hard to say. But they definitely have access to the characters that Feige created as far as like Scorpion, Vulture, and all that, and Mysterio, right? Those are all Sony's toys now. You know what I mean? It's pretty wild, actually. Isn't it weird that Kraven's first movie be named Kraven's Last Hunt? Yeah, that would be really weird. But I don't think that's actually the way that they're gonna do. Yeah, Jason says I'm confused. Is Kraven getting his own movie? There is a solo Kraven movie being developed at Sony, not at Marvel. Not at Marvel. But it's pretty wild, man. It's wild times, man. It's such a great time to be a nerd. Like I can't even explain how awesome of a time it is to be a nerd in this world right now. You know what I mean? Like seriously. Oh man. So guys, you know what? Let's just get into Q&A. I just want to run like 20 minutes of Q&A with you guys. And then I'll probably get out of here, and I've got big videos to work on. I want to work on my take on some of this stuff. Maybe a little Kraven video, maybe a little Sam Raimi video. And I've got that big Star Wars video to do. Man, a lot of cool Star Wars info to be talking about as well. So we'll shift into Q&A. Of course, if you got any loot, super chats will helps out the channel, and I will answer every single super chat that comes in. But if you don't have any loot, don't worry about it. So here's the thing. Let's talk about this. I see some good questions coming in there. But here's the thing I want to address. Is it possible that we're going to be doing the Spider-Verse with all of these Spider-Man? Is it possible? Yeah, it's technically possible. I mean, Sony owns all those characters. So Sony could technically bring Garfield back. Sony could technically bring Homeboy back. Why am I blanking on the 30-year-old high schooler from the Sam Raimi movies? Tobey Maguire. Yeah, so they could bring in Tobey Maguire. They could do all of that. It would be more of a thing of like, how could they handle it properly, and could they make it work? You know what I mean? But Marvel would have nothing to do with that. That's all Sony stuff, right? So Marvel would have nothing to do with that unless Sony wanted them to be a part of it. Will Marvel ever buy Spider-Man rights back? You know, that's an interesting question. I know there were some rumors and reports about this $10 billion arrangement that Sony had where, you know, Marvel could buy back Sony or Spider-Man for $10 billion. Dude, there's no way that that's true. Like, there's no way that Disney spends $4 billion on Star Wars, but then they turn around and do more than half of that on a single character's IP. Now, I know it's over 900 characters due to the IP that they have, but like, bro, ain't nobody paying $10 billion for Sony or for Spider-Man. Nobody. That ain't happening. But it all has to do with how well the Sony movies work this year and how Feige is either changing in a way where he's more open to things or not, right? Eventually, Feige is probably going to have to loosen that iron grip a little bit. But then again, when he keeps making gangster-ass moves like this, like maybe he doesn't. You know what I mean? Maybe he does not. Yeah, let's see here. Well, yeah, Marvel. I need to understand how the meshing of the Sony Spider-Verse with the MCU. RG says. Well, that's a tricky one, brother. That's a tricky one. I think the best way that I can explain it right now, and this is just of everything that I know, everybody that I've talked to, Sony owns all of the things that are Spider-Man. Anything Spider-Man, Sony owns. And so anything from the Tom Holland movies, like, okay, this is Tom Holland movies over here and the MCU. This is the Sony movies. Things that are Spider-Man from over here in the MCU can come over to the Sony universe. But unless I'm mistaken, nothing that's Marvel over here can come over. Nothing that, like S.H.I.E.L.D., no. Avengers, no. You know, none of that stuff's going to come over. And I don't think much is going to come from the Sony universe over to Marvel. Like Venom, probably not going to be hanging out anytime soon with the Avengers. Morbius, probably not hanging out with the Avengers. So really, it's the co-produced movies, Sony and Marvel deals over here, and the MCU, right? The stuff will come from it over to Sony if it's Spider-Man. This is Vulture. This is obviously Spider-Man. This is anything that's connected to the Spider-Man IPs, intellectual property. That will come over and be used in Sony. But ain't nothing coming back over here unless we hear that changed. That's how that works. How does Kraven come into the Spider-Man story? How would you do it, Josh? Look, they're probably going to do it they're going to do it very similar to the comics. He's going to be like a big game hunter, and he loves hunting maybe even the most dangerous game, and he's just obsessed with that. And then he views Spider-Man as something that worthy of hunting, right? So that's what he's going to do. He's going to try to prove his mettle and hunt Spider-Man. That's how they're probably going to do it. What the hell is Secret Wars? Oh, man. Interesting question. I know you're joking, of course, but Secret Wars is very, very exciting. Are people forgetting that Sam Raimi and Feige have a history of working together? Yep, they worked on those movies together. 30-year-old high schooler. Jared Good is late. That's okay, Jared. I won't write you up today. Just sit down and enjoy the rest of the class. Now I get notifications for the live stream. Yeah, man. Hey, look, we're going to figure this thing out here on YouTube. We're going to figure this thing out, man. This live show, shit's blowing up in 2020. I'm promising you. I promise you this show is going to blow up. And as the stats and the analytics continue to go up, the YouTube will play nice with us and actually push us out to more people. So, yeah, man, we're going to get there, bros. We are going to get there. I'm super excited about it, man. I'm super excited for 2020. Gonna be a good year. Let's see here. GRM show. So just a thought. What if the Kraven movie goes through his whole life and the movie ends with him seeing the JJ broadcast and then sending out the Hunt Spider-Man? Hey, look, that could work, man. That could absolutely work. Viggo Mortensen? That would be dope, dude. That would be dope. No Dark Avengers talk? It's too early to drink? Yeah, all right. We'll leave it alone. Leave it alone for now. Doctor Strange 2 is going to be nuts, but I got to ask Nova. Where is Nova? Well, Jordan, I think Nova's on the way. Who knows for sure where Nova's coming in, but I think Nova is certainly on the way. I think Nova is certainly on the way. A lot of evidence to suggest that as well. Isn't it absolutely ridiculous the amount of Marvel news that's been coming out lately, though? It's crazy. Out of the handful of live streams I participate in, you are the only one who actually talks to their fans and reads out the chat. Other hosts just say they're going to do it, but they never do. Yeah, thanks, Gray. You know, the thing is, too, as the stream gets bigger and as this channel grows and things like that, that will be a little bit more difficult to do, which is why, like, super chats are useful and stuff like that. But, yeah, I mean, look, I've been telling you guys for a while. You guys are the early adapters. You're sort of the first wave in here for the Den of Nerds Live. In the Den of Nerds Live, we've made a lot of improvements already. We're going to continue to make improvements. I am super excited about what this show will become. And you guys are, look, I'm grateful for you guys coming in here, man. Honestly, it means a lot. It means a lot. The live show has become a morning ritual. That's exactly what it's supposed to be. That's exactly what it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be a morning ritual. Guys, I'm still in disbelief. I got to be honest with you. I'm still in disbelief at how good of a get it is to get Sam Raimi. Like, this is wild. It really is a gangster-ass move. Like, you know what I mean? Like, the hot takes are a little bit, you know, it's a performance. It's supposed to be a little crazy. Guys, this is gangster, dude. This is, like, seriously gangster. Like, I don't know, man. If I'm Scott Derrickson, I don't know how I'm feeling today. You know what I mean? Honestly, I don't know how I'm feeling. And it's such a big movie. The thing is, it's such a big movie for Marvel. It was obviously going to be like sort of an Avengers thing. It's like Avengers with sorcerers. You know what I mean? It's kind of what we're looking at. Also, he's going to be handling Wanda. Like, he's going to be handling all of this really weird stuff. And Bruce Campbell might be in it. The horror elements, there'll be horror elements in the film that Feige's going to do that now. It, right? It's wild. Do I think Raimi will direct more Marvel movies? Man, why not? Why not? You know what I mean? It really depends. It depends on how this goes. Because here's the thing. When Marvel has such a system built that even though the film is shooting in May, and they're not going to delay that, right? Bringing in a totally new director is a little bit easier in Marvel's system than for other people. Like for instance, Lucasfilm, right? It's a little bit of a better system because they've been doing it longer. You know what I mean? They've been doing it longer because the producing team over at Lucasfilm, and it's not just Kathy, it's some other people, they've only been making these movies within this process since 2014, right? Feige's been making them way longer and has had just a lot of experience within the system. So I say all that to say, Sam Raimi can come in, get up to speed. He doesn't have to do heavy lifting here. You know what I mean? He's obviously not writing it. He's coming in to direct a film sort of by committee, but he's really, really going to dig in and give us some really good stuff here. It's going to be awesome. Yo, Mika, thank you so much, man. I live for the den. Thank you so much. Guys, if you could do me a favor and smash that like button on the stream, it does help us out. As stupid as it is, I hate talking about it. I hate it, but it really does help out. So if you could smash that like, it would be great. When am I going to drop that Star Wars video? I think the move is to go from... I think that the Sam Raimi video has to go out first, right? So I'm going to clip that video out we just did with the hot take about Sam Raimi, yada, yada, yada. Do that. Put that video out. That'll... Broke your phone. Bro, don't break your phone, guys. If you do, please make sure you have insurance. So I'll probably do that video, and then I'll start writing the Star Wars video. And again, I just have to be careful with that Star Wars video. Do you know what I mean? So... I would say the Star Wars video will be slated for probably 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock today. I'll dig in. I'll talk about everything I know, everything that I can say when it comes to Star Wars. I'll just say this. I'll say this for you guys watching now live and everything. I think some things are being misinterpreted out there with Star Wars. I actually think Star Wars is doing some things correct. And what's really interesting is... we have this perception of Kathy, and we have this perception of what's going on behind the scenes. The truth is, if one of the big issues with Disney Star Wars in their first go all had to do with things happening too fast, a lack of planning, and the fact that Disney was like, yo, you need to make these movies now, then if Kathy is saying no to Uncle Bob and delaying things because it's not ready, on the surface level, we might be apt to say, oh, here we go again, Kathy's screwing up. But potentially the opposite is happening. Potentially, she's actually saying, no, Disney, we're not going to do that again. Until it's ready, we're not talking about it. And I've almost maybe even said too much in what I just said there. But I just want you to think about that. Think about that as a Star Wars fan. It is possible that even though we perceive it as oh, man, this bad thing again, hey, we were supposed to get the director announcement in January. Where's the Luminous announcement? All these things, right? What if, keep cool, my babies, is what I want to say. Keep cool, my babies. All is well. I think we're going to be okay. Got a couple super chats coming in. Woo! Super chats! Super chats. I can actually go eat today. I can go have a hamburger because as I told you guys yesterday, and I know it might seem surprising, every episode of this show costs $1.5 million. $1.5 million. It's not cheap to build this digital arena, this realm that we have created here. $1.5 million per episode. So we're kind of not profitable. So the super chats definitely help. Brian says business/brand implications for DC if Birds of Prey has critic/audience divide. Critics love, fans don't. Compounded by the success failure at the box office. Brian, that's an incredible question. And this is something that I want to get into after I see it, right? I'm going to give this movie such a fair shake. Honestly, either way, I'm going to have fun with this movie. I love going to the movies. I'm going with a good friend of mine. He's actually interested in seeing the movie as well. I'm going to fill my fat face with a bunch of popcorn and Milk Duds, man. Oh, my God, I love Milk Duds. Guys, this is something I do. I take the Milk Duds and I pour them into the big old popcorn. You know what I mean? Get them soften up a little bit with the warm popcorn, and then you grab a handful, you get a couple Milk Duds, a couple kernels of popcorn. Woo! I love it. I love it. So I'm going to go check it out. I'm very, very excited. But I think one of the things that's very interesting here is what you bring up about the brand implications. There is a possibility here that we're going to get a Joker versus Birds of Prey narrative happening. Now, I don't know if that's actually going to happen or not, but the perception could be there, and here's why. By and large, it looked like the media crapped on Joker. Now, I have my own personal problems with Joker. I don't really think it's that great, but I acknowledge that I'm an outlier in that. Most fans think Joker is incredible, and they look at the fact that the access media and the journalists and the Rotten Tomatoes people and the blue check marks and all of that, they view that those people looked down at the Joker because of the things it was supposedly expressing. You know what I mean? About masculinity, about whatever. Birds of Prey might have the exact opposite problem where the critics are hype on this film, bro. Like, critics have their heads real far up Harley Quinn's ass with this one. And so it'll be interesting to see if the fans come out and trash this film, which we don't know. You know, we don't know. But if the films come out and trash this movie, it is going to create some narratives that unfortunately are going to be like kind of at the heart of like, what are you doing, DC? And you'll have some people supporting it and saying, I want this DC. I want this Technicolor. If there are any EPs in here right now? Because Tara had this amazing thing that she said yesterday. We were chatting about this. I wonder if I can bring this up. What did she say? It was so funny. She called it... oh, man, I don't know if I'm going to be able to find it. She said something really funny about it. It was like this Technicolor hyperactive thing, right? And that's one side of DC for sure. Sort of more colorful, happy, poppy, punk rock, girl power thing, right? And Joker's kind of like the opposite. And so you could see a thing creating like that. I don't know, man. We're going to have to wait and see the success and failure at the box office. But bottom line is DC has immense branding problems, like immense branding problems. And I'm very interested to see the macro impact of their decisions from the past 5 years on whatever they do next. This mostly, to me, involves the Batman. Mostly it's about, like, what is going to happen with the Batman? How are people going to respond to that? And then what's going on with HBO Max? If there's all this DC stuff in HBO Max, if they continue to go down this road where they're like, is it connected? Yeah, probably. You figure it out. Bro, I'm telling you, that shit ain't going to fly, in my opinion. Let's see here. We got Jason. Oh, no, where's Jason's super chat? I got to find Jason's super chat up here. Okay, Jason's super chat says, good job with the new intro and keep mentioning the morning fun in other videos. It's gotten 2 people alone that I know to go check it out. Coffee's on me. Thank you, Jason. I appreciate that, brother. By the way, Jason, if you're still in here, I'm going to email you today. And that project that you and I were working on, that we're now not working on, I want to work on again, and I have a very interesting spin on it that we can change it from what it was going to be into a general pop culture thing. So, like, think like superheroes, Marvel, DC, and some Star Wars, all the dope pop culture stuff. Like, imagine the thing we were talking about, Jason, but instead of just being defined within the Star Wars realm, we open it up to all of nerddom and fandom. That's what I want to do, bro. But it'll take a lot of work and a lot of writing and stuff like that. So let me know, and I'll hit you, man. We'll figure it out. I know we got another super chat in here from Jordan Smith. 1.5 million question mark? LOL. Go get you a double cheeseburger, man. You're working too hard, Josh. Ha. Well, thank you, Jordan. Man, do I appreciate it. I'm going to eat well today. Thanks to you guys. So thank you so much. Yeah, 1.5 million. I mean, we probably overspent a little bit. But look, man, spared no expense. You know, when you're trying to build something, you're trying to build something for longevity. And what we're creating here is a totally new thing, man. It's a totally new thing. And we're taking over the space. By the end of this year, there will be thousands of people watching this show live. Thousands. I'm thinking close to 10,000. That's my thing. I want to just eclipse, like totally blow away, destroy, decimate all of the similar content that's coming out to you in the mornings. Fuck all that. Look, we're just going to destroy them. We're just going to decimate them. I'm talking 10K congruent live streamers. And we'll look back at the beginning of the year and we'll be like, yo, remember when we were just getting started? Remember when the live show was kind of coming together? Everything was going? You know what I mean? All that $1.5 million episodes that Josh spent, man, he better get some viewers in there so that we can pay for all that. That's what we got going on, man. Let us see here. Let's get into a little bit more of the chat here. Talk about that. Where the fuck are my chats going, bruh? What do you mean, Mika? Your chats should be here. Are you doing super chats too? Because I don't see them if you are. Just watched Uncut Gems last night. Oh, man, it was well done. Look, I want to watch Uncut Gems real bad. I thought it was like on Netflix, but it's only on Netflix in certain places. There it is. Alex brought it up. Technicolor Nightmare from Candyland. That's what Tara said. I thought that was pretty hilarious. Please give us Shuri or Dora Milaje Disney Plus show. We need a Wakanda-based Disney Plus show. Let's see here. Man, I lost that comment. No! Okay, it's the MCU's biggest franchise now. Look, okay, June, let's talk about this, because I saw some people talking some crap on Wakanda. You're crazy. If you don't think Wakanda's dope, if you don't think Black Panther's dope, and you don't think that that's going to play a big role in what's going on next, you're crazy. I truly think that Wakanda, I want to see Wakanda bring some of their tech to Sword. And I want Sword to use some Wakanda tech. They're doing a thing right now in the comic books where, like, Wakanda has an empire out in space, and there's just really weird stuff like that. But it makes sense to me. They literally have spaceships on the planet. So to have Wakanda doing its thing in the MCU is a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. So I'm really looking forward to how Wakanda could potentially help the planet get back on track, play a big role in whatever happens next with Avengers and or Dark Avengers and things like that. So, yeah, I'm very excited. And Shuri's a great character. I like Shuri a lot. So I would love to see that. How has no one mentioned the Doctor Strange nod in Spider-Man 2? Are you talking about Sam Raimi Spider-Man 2, Ben Edwards? And I definitely appreciate the super chat, brother. I might get 2 double cheeseburgers now. This is hot stuff. Thank you, Ben. But I don't know what you're referring to, brother. And if that is some deep cut Sam Raimi Spider-Man 2 craziness, I don't know about it. So there should be white Wakandans, at least a few token ones. Well, there was, Justin. Remember? White Wolf, baby. They brought in the White Wolf. And then they brought in, they had the other token white guy, too. What was that other dude? Ross, right? Damn, dude, what do I need to do? We got a donation coming in from Mika. Damn, dude, what do I need to do? Where do I donate? You want $8? I only got $8. Hashtag tax season. Whoo! Tax season is real, baby. Tax season is real. Oh, Ben says, yeah, Sam Raimi, Spider-Man 2. Sam, drop us how that is happening. I don't know what you're talking about. I must have missed that, man. Oh, when they were coming up with the Dr. Octopus name, he suggested Doctor Strange. That is really cool. That is really cool. The Marvelous Show says, how do you do super chats? You got to like click the little, there's like a money icon next to the chat where you can do it. I also do have the Streamlabs setup where you can donate through Streamlabs through like either credit card or PayPal. But like I haven't quite figured that out yet as far as what I want to do with the Streamlabs and because we might have like one of those robot voice things. Everybody loves those robot voice things. Like Summit 1G does it. The SEN does it. That's been around for a long time. You know what I mean? The robot thing. I do love the way that Christian does it with the Schmobot. I think that's really brilliant and genius. We got to figure out our spin on that. How would it work for us in the channel? So yeah, we'll think about that. We'll figure that out. Good name, but it's taken. JJ said good name, but it's taken. That is interesting. But anyways, Becca, thank you so much for the donation, brother. I really do appreciate that. And it looks like you got a really cute dog in your profile picture there. So that's cool, man. What's Streamlabs? Streamlabs is the software we are using to stream out of this. And it's got all of like the fanciness and all the craziness. I'm running it all through a program called Streamlabs. And Streamlabs also allows you to put in donations directly to Streamlabs because YouTube takes like 30% of a super chat. So every super chat that comes in, they only give us 70% of it. Right? YouTube takes a big old fee. And that's not the way it is on Streamlabs. So with Streamlabs, you get much more of the money, but we got to incentivize and figure out a way to make people want to do that. And that's part of my plan today is actually working on the stream. I'm working on this show every day. Every day I'm like trying to make little improvements. You know what I mean? And we're trying to figure it out. CGM show says $2 with this $2 super chat. I'm worried Birds of Prey may push all men are bad. Look, of course that's the fear, right? We talk about this a lot. By the way, we had an incredible community stream on Monday night. We're going to do another community stream this coming Monday night where like you guys can literally come onto the stream, like literally like pop up onto the stream and actually have a conversation with other members of the Den of Nerds. And by the way, the executive producers were basically talking and they were like, Josh, on the next community stream, you're going to need to shut the fuck up. And I agree. So I really want to kind of just be a moderator next Monday and just help people to have conversations. But the last community stream that we had, we talked about politics and pop culture. And it's a really interesting conversation, right? There's this whole, like, if you get woke, you go broke kind of thing. And that's real, right? But it's like how much of this is just, like, narrative online and people getting upset and how much of it is real. And I recommend you go watch that stream because it was really interesting. Everybody's got Jacob's quest. The Jacob has arrived. I love it. You can get into all sorts of things and discussions about that, but I think in general, the consensus that we came to in the community stream was that although there is definitely like Hollywood formulaic trend chasing stuff that happens with that and pushing in ideologies does happen, it really is much to do about nothing. A lot of the outrage about wokeness and the culture war and all this stuff, when you really break it down and you really talk to people about it, bro, it ain't, look, it's like in Philly, I lived in Philly for 5 years and it was a great time. And I had a lot of friends. And some of the things that my Philly friends would say that would stick with me, one of the things is, it ain't that deep. And so, look, I get you. We don't want it to be like all men are bad, but at the same time, it ain't that deep. Is it really going to hurt your feelings? You know what I mean? Look, you're free to do you, but the reality is it ain't that deep. And the reason most people think it's that deep is because they monetize your anger and your frustration. They monetize your anger and your frustration. Oh, they're doing it again. They're doing it again. They're saying men are bad in another movie. It ain't that deep, bro. You know what I mean? I feel you, but it ain't that deep. You know what I mean? It's not going to shrink your pants. You know what I mean? It's not going to take money out of your wallet that you don't want to give. It ain't that deep. So, like, I'm with you, and I'm not one of those people that's like, oh, it doesn't exist, man. Everybody's just haters. Everybody's just haters. You know what I mean? It's if you don't like it, you're a hater. No, that's not true. There is something to it. The woke brigade, and all of these people that want to police and the outrage and all that stuff. It's real. It's just a small percentage out there. It's not something that we need to get upset about. Again, it ain't that deep. Marvelous Show says, yo, Josh, can you get in touch with me at somehow? I'd like to maybe try to be a part of this channel moving forward. Best way to do that is to email me at thedenofnerds@gmail.com. Email me at thedenofnerds@gmail.com. Gray Dawn says, you pretty much just ragged on Brie Larson and Tara just dragged on all women. See, I disagree with that take, Gray. I disagree with that take. But I respect your opinion, and I respect your ability to put that forward. And I'll even consider that. I'll consider it, but I disagree with the take. I also think, Gray, that you need to come on to one of these community streams. Like, if you really want to, because here's the thing, even in this scenario, it's hard for me to get nuance and context from your text there. I get a general sense of your feelings, but I don't, I can't really judge the text here. You need to come on and actually have a conversation. You know what I mean? Like, you and Tara should actually discuss this issue, because I think I know what you're referring to. There was this moment where I said, I was talking about how all men are gross. And I was like, the thing is, man, you say what you will about, men, women, and all that. Men are gross, dude. And if I was a female, I would not want to be dealing with gross men all the time, because we are kind of gross. And then Tara said, I feel like all women are really emotional and hard to deal with and stuff like that. I think there's truth in both of those statements. You know what I mean? Like, stereotypes and generalizations, usually it's not that they're wrong, it's that they're incomplete. They don't tell the full story, but they're also not completely made up. You know what I mean? I respect Tara's opinion, and I'm sure she deals with women in a different way than I do all the time. And if she has interactions that make her feel like women are really emotional, which, by the way, I've had those interactions too, nothing wrong with that. It ain't that deep. It ain't that deep, but I recommend you come to the live show. Brie Larson said the right thing in the wrong way. Then horrible people turned that into outrage fuel for profit. The internet was a mistake. Burn it down. Jacob's Quest said. Yeah, look, I got you. I think that's fair, and I think that's generally the consensus that we had. Is like, look, Brie Larson, her head's probably in the right place. I get it. She wants to use her platform to advance things. Good on you. Good on you. Bob's your uncle, as they would say in the UK. Bob's your uncle. However, she did say it the wrong way. And not just the wrong way, like really fucking wrong. Like really, really wrong. You know what I mean? But at the same time, like, I'm going to say it one more time, folks. It ain't that deep. You know what I mean? It ain't that deep. Sorry, it's not. And also, I like that character. I like that character, the Captain Marvel character. I kind of like to hate her, to be honest with you. It's almost like a heel thing. I try to explain this as well, where it's like a heel thing. When Thanos grabbed the Power Stone and punched Brie Larson into next week, I loved it. I loved it. I was like, woo, let's go, Thanos. Let's go. But at the same time, I like that is an aspect of her character. Captain Marvel is kind of a snarky bitch in the comics. Frankly, she's perfectly cast with Brie. Like, Brie is nailing that. Like, Brie's a really good actress. You know what I mean? But she really does nail that. I think it's all good, baby. It's all good. Again, it ain't that deep. Let's just enjoy our comic book movies. You know what I mean? We should do a weekend community live stream where we all come, BS, and talk some Dark Avengers. I would love to say that. Or do that, rather. I would love to do that. Right now, I'm struggling with, Jason, just being completely honest with you, I'm struggling with how to figure out the new workflow and get us in a position where I can't burn out on this. Do you know what I mean? I have to be careful, because as much as I would love to do that, I need some days, bro. You know what I mean? I'm starting to think that when it comes to Saturday and Sunday, I might not stream at all, like most of the time. Most of the time on the weekends, I don't think I'm going to be streaming. I think if there are videos, I'd like to knock them out before Friday. I'd really like to get to a point where I knock all of that stuff out before the weekend, and then I have the weekend to just do me and stuff. And, we'll obviously still have a video that comes out on Star Wars Sunday. I would love to have videos coming out on Saturday as well. But I think I need those days to recover. Because the last thing we need, we're really getting consistent here with the live show in the mornings, and I'm having a blast with you guys. And look, we're really on a good track here. However, I just got to be careful. You know what I mean? I got to be careful because I have a tendency to do too much and put too much on my plate. And that is not always the best thing to do. You know what I mean? And different people have different issues. Look, I'm a workaholic. I got to be honest with you. That's real shit. It's not something to necessarily brag about because it can actually be a problem where I've actually had damage done to other aspects of my life, whether it be relationships or physical health or whatever, because I'm addicted to working and I'm addicted to that feeling of progress. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting. You guys need a woman on the show that is on both sides of men and women, not just men. Yeah, look, here's the thing I will agree with you on, Gray. And this is the idea of the community streams, which, again, you can come on. So please do and self-fulfill the prophecy that you have just spoken. But here's the thing. One of the things that I'll get in arguments with people about is some people think that representation doesn't matter at all. And I'm like, that's stupid. That's stupid. Representation is super important. From my perspective, one of the reasons it's so important is because we need different points of view and we need different people in the conversation. We need that. The world will be better for that. I mean, think about how eclectic the world is already and the different things that different cultures have given to us that makes this really incredible eclectic thing. You know what I mean? Asian culture and how revered and used and repeated and mirrored that is in the West. A lot of people love Eastern culture in the West. You know what I mean? Early, African-American, music and blues and what that did for music. Do you know what I mean? That perspective is so important. Do you know what I mean? These different things. Think about food. Think about different ethnic food and how that brings it. You see what I mean? So representation is super important. I'm with you. But to me, it's really important because we bring the people in and have the conversation. I'll be fucking damned if I'm not. I'm very much against the idea of anything that someone says or thinks being held up as who they are. That's not how human beings work. And if you're going to hold that kind of stuff against people, that's so ridiculous to me. That's not a good look. You know what I mean? If we're being true to that ideal, bring them in. Let's have the conversation. So I recommend you come into the show. Be that person. Be that person. Yeah, Rose Stack says everyone needs to stop and smell the roses from time to time. If you need a break, you take it. Absolutely. Absolutely, that is what it is. All right, guys, we're going to get out of here for now. As I said, guys, big Star Wars video coming out later today. I'm very excited about that. Look for that later today on the Den of Nerds channel. I got a spicy little scoop about what's going on with the Obi-Wan movie /show/movie/show/ what the hell's going on at Lucasfilm. So I'll be doing that video. And thank you guys so much. As always, if you could smash that like button, whether you're watching this live or you're watching this on the replay, I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Smash that like button. And guys, I will see you in the next video, but I'll also see you tomorrow morning after I have seen Birds of Prey. What's going to happen? Am I going to apologize and talk about how much I like Birds of Prey? Or am I going to shit all over it? I know some of you are hoping that I shit all over it. Some of you might be hoping that I have to eat my words. So, hey, look, we'll see. Either way, I'm going to be real as fuck about it. So, come on back tomorrow morning. Post, damn misogynist. Post Birds of Prey. Josh will be coming at you live, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time tomorrow. Guys, as I always say, I hope you are having an awesome and a nerdy day. And I will see you in the next video.